It's time, Fortnite fans, to check out a few of our incredible Brazilian and Middle East teams that we'll be watching at the Global Championships. Starting with the first Brazilian team to qualify, Cadu and Siyun. They had a decent start in the grand finals, claiming height in 2 games, but just barely missed out on a victory royale due to losing a heel-off. In the final game of Day 1, they would adapt their in-game strategy, sticking to the low ground instead. This not only fed them plenty of eliminations, but also some much-needed heals in case history would repeat itself. And it would. Siyun was more than prepared, readily holding on to 5 medkits, finally giving them their first win of the day. With enough momentum, they'd go on to win Major 1 and claim their spot at the Global Championships. In Major 2, we saw a low mobility meta, which rewarded teams that were able to work around the meta shortcomings. One such team was Ed and Persa, and their workaround, the Icarus Wings. While most duos chose to forgo the item, a select few teams mastered the item's rotation capability, which greatly aided in Ed and Persa's ability to make it to the endgame in almost all 12 games. Through consistency, they outpaced the rest of the competition and took home the championship title. At the start of the year, Phaser and King, arguably the 2 biggest players in the Brazilian region, would surprise the Fortnite community after making their announcement of their move to the European region. Although they may not have found much luck over in EU, their return to Brazil in Major 2 and subsequently Major 3 would prove much more successful. Prioritizing early rotations as well as controlling the high ground pushed King and Phaser up the leaderboard, and it wouldn't be long before seeing their return to their rightful place on top as the champions of Major 3. 7man and CalGamer are no strangers to competitive Fortnite, each finding success throughout the years, going all the way back to early Chapter 2. Although individually they would frequently place in the top 5, they were never able to claim the FNCS title. That was until Chapter 4, Major 2, where they would finally join forces and ultimately change the course of the Middle East FNCS. In the last 5 majors, 7man and CalGamer have won 4 of them. The one major they didn't win, they placed second. The time and effort this duo has put into studying the game has undoubtedly earned them the title as the best team in the region. Now, they look to prove themselves against the best in the world at the Global Championships. After Major 1 of this year, where 7man and CalGamer took their 3rd major in a row, it was starting to look like no one could end their reign of domination. No one except Adapter and FKS. Adapter, a longtime veteran dating back to Season X, paired with FKS, the champion of Chapter 3 Season 1, was the region's best hope at taking down the reigning champs. They started off Major 2 Grand Finals with a bang, claiming the first and last win of the day. On Day 2, they placed even better, making it to every single in-game, as well as their 3rd victory royale. Their 140-point lead over 2nd place solidified their spot on the throne, as well as their spot on the world stage. Kramsu and Clone's journey to the Global Championships is interesting to say the least. Both players are relatively new to competitive Fortnite, with Kramsu's first tournament taking place in Season 2 of last year. They also are one of the newest duos to form, competing in the FNCS together for the first time in Major 3. But even more interesting is their tournament history. More specifically, their tournament region history. Both players, originally hailing from Spain, found little success over in EU, but that didn't stop them from looking elsewhere. Oceania, North America, Brazil, Asia, no region was off limits. But it wasn't until Major 3, when both players moved to the Middle East and boot camped for 2 weeks, that they'd finally find their ticket to the Global Championships. That was just a few of the amazing teams that you'll get to see compete at the Global Championships. Make sure to watch all the action on September 7th and 8th, and until then, we can't wait to see you on the Battle Bus.